And we're live. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the Petty Cemetery.
And I'm here to collect the souls of
The one thing not buried in Petty Cemetery is Ivana.
Did you see the pictures that all over Twitter of people claiming where she was buried, that it's all overgrown with weeds and stuff? Like
they don't clean her grave.
Yeah, you can't even see the headstone on her.
If she's even in there.
Yeah. That's the box full of classified documents and everything else he stole from the White House in Israel and everywhere else. His treasure trove, buried treasure. Mm-hmm.
So what's going on this week? Anything?
No, I was going to go live earlier this week, but my brain was just dumb, so I didn't. And
I was hoping you would last night because I took a bubble bath.
Yeah. No, Jace, those are not my children. Those are Jesus's children. Jesus, come and get your kids. Yeah, so I'll try to go live this week after work. We'll see how brain fried I am. But yeah, because I need to do a Kushner grand tableau. Now that the Democrats are finally starting to get very loud about Kushner's dealings while he was in the administration. So
we should do a reading on that, on his investigation. You know, one of my favorite memes I saw was Ivanka and Kushner's children. Both grandparents now have mugshots, because his dad spent time in jail.
That's true.
Trump pardoned him.
Yeah, I mean, but he's still a felon, though.
Can you imagine? Both my grandparents have mugshots.
Wouldn't be the mafia otherwise, right?
Big wish.
Yeah, exactly. They make the mafia look bad.
They at least have some ethics.
I mean, come on.
They at least don't get caught till they've done significant damage.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Brandon, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Just seen him in the chat.
Hey, Brandon.
Mm-hmm. Anything going on with you, Mr. Johnny?
No. Staring at the sun. That's about it.
He's getting in those let me stare at that for a while. No, let me stare at that for a while.
There's my son, staring at the sun.
Now, Trump did that during the eclipse, so you got to up your game.
And then he's over there trying to challenge people to an intelligence test. It's like, dude.
And meanwhile, can't complete a sentence in his rallies. His mouth he sounds drunk.
And then he was also challenging people to athletic competitions. I was like, first we're going to do the Ironman, then we're going to do the Tour de France, then we're going to do the Olympics, and Donald Trump's going to win the gold medal in each one. Like, that's...
Look, it cracks me up that he gets on Biden about his age when he's just, 3 years younger than him?
3 years younger and about 400 pounds bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not here to fat shame anybody.
He's 215.
Because the good Lord knows I got a good few to lose myself, but I'm not over there bashing people. I know what I look like. I know how overweight I am, but
He's 215.
Mm-hmm. 215, and I'm the tooth fairy. Yeah.
215.
The Iron Man Trillium Tarot is saying all 215 pounds of him, the Iron Man poster boy.
It's a good thing he has his own plane, because I wouldn't want to fly with him.
I mean, he can't even win at golf. What are you going to win at?
Yeah. He cheats at everything.
What competition could he win, period?
Well, let's ask.
Like, I guarantee you, he can't even win a narcissist contest. There's a bigger one out there. I guarantee you. They just ain't ran for president.
What contest would Donald Trump win at?
What could he win at? While we're shuffling, if you would like to book a reading with me, I'm almost booked up in October, going into November. JenLynTarot.com to book a reading or to buy a gift card. And reminder, your reading time, the availability will show in your time zone because it goes by where your IP address is. Lying. You could win it lying. What competition could Trump win? Because he's a loser at everything.
First card I pull is the devil. So where are we going with this? Okay. Here we go then. I guess it is lying.
I get lying. I start with the ultimate liar, the magician, lying in bed, sleeping,
Oh, Lord.
backstabbing,
Okay.
and providing evidence and whistleblowers from his home. From his home. So, the pool boy.
A dog food eating contest.
Alpo and gravy train.
Whatever he eats, even my cats wouldn't eat.
Oh, yeah. Just put some ketchup on it. It'll be fine.
Oh, I've never seen Coke flavor. Well, that's a Donald Trump special. That's fine.
Oh, good.
Throw his
Maybe.
Alpo on the wall.
Farting contest.
Yeah, I got Devil, Moon, and Seven of Swords. I'm going to say lying. So a fabrication contest he could do quite well at, I think. He has inspired a lot of people, though. The whole the numbers too big to rig type thing. That's because of him. People got inspired, which means, because I saw a couple people ask about the MAGA hats, and they want to stage another coup, of course, and threaten people not to vote. Don't be afraid of them at your polling places. Remember, there are still laws in place. They can't threaten you nor intimidate you because they are still scared of police. So there's that. So go and vote anyway. They can't do nothing to you that you can't do to them. So,
And then the closer we get to elections, they should have the hotline numbers for each state and each county to call and report if there's voter intimidation while you're waiting in line, voter harassment if you're waiting in line, all that stuff. Just be on the lookout for those phone numbers as they come out the closer we get to the elections based on your county, because they'll
you
vary.
are protected. Do not be in fear of voting. Go anyway. You are protected.
Well, I'm going to title our live stream tonight, Ho Night. It's going to be a hoedown. Let's start with Laura Olson. She's A.G. Paxton in Texas's hoe, his girlfriend. She testified before the Senate committee during his impeachment trial and pleaded the fifth. So I'd like to know, does she have some indictments coming? Hoe number one.
Against self-incrimination.
Because it's petty hoe night.
Not incrimination of somebody else, but self-incrimination.
Yeah. What you done, Miss Laura?
Does she have any indictment?
Oh, and his wife voted to acquit him, by the way. He did get acquitted.
Yeah, you did say girlfriend, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. His
Okay.
girlfriend, Laura Olson. Hoe number one. His wife is a senator. She voted to acquit.
Of course.
Hot heels of petty boots night. Lucky girl.
Okay.
We'll get to all the other hoes. I see y'all chatting. Laura Olson, you got any indictments coming?
What would she be getting indicted for?
I don't know why she's pleading the fifth to questions. So, I mean, he took state money, to pay to keep her up and stuff. God knows what else she may have done.
I see Lori in the chat. Hi, Lori.
Hey, Lori.
ridiculous how Ken Paxton has been convicted for how many years now, and he is still the attorney general, and then he gets busted, and then they still acquit him in the Senate. And Donald Trump shakes out an ally, gets acquitted in the Senate. Donald Trump stages a coup, gets acquitted. I mean, what does it take? I guess all it takes is for your son to be doing some shady business deals with no ties to you for you to get, and I'm referencing Hunter Biden at this point, but
What you getting, Johnny?
Yes, there is. Well, the potential there is. I get she is challenged by lots and lots and lots of funds. Here with the Ten of Pentacles, it is money that is meant for something else. So this is like legacy in your business money and all that type of stuff, because it starts with the Five of Pentacles. So it's like she's out. I think too, this may not necessarily be the most accurate, but I'm going to throw that out there anyway. With the Five of Pentacles being her first card, I think she may also be alone when she starts to fight legal things. I don't think she has a whole crew of people that are helping her fight this, and I don't think Ken Paxton is going to stick around for her downfall, which is why you never become the mistress, because at some point you get cut off and everybody else goes and plays.
I mean, he did move her to Austin, and he did help her get a job in Austin once she got there. So,
because she was still tickling his fancy, but now there's some defeat coming here in the environment with the Five of Swords, Page of Swords, and then it ends in the Ace of Pentacles. There is the opportunity for you to get something, and indictments pop up for me, Page of Pentacles, because that's how they first popped up for Donald. And so there you go. Got some letters coming to your house, homegirl, eventually.
and she doesn't have a wife like Ken did to pull the car out in the driveway and help him escape.
They're saying that she didn't testify. That she didn't.
I saw she testified and pleaded the fifth.
Yeah,
it may not have been televised, but
okay, because they're saying in the chat, I've seen it twice already, that she didn't testify. So I asked, will the girlfriend, the mistress, get indicted? There, a very problematic relationship that suffers. And there's punishment and pain here, so take that for what you will, but it's like she's linked to some. I don't get any money cards. It's just saying that it's a very problematic relationship that's going to suffer. They're suffering here.
I get a big old yes, this is my indictment card. Something's coming pretty soon for her and some other Republicans. So yeah, there's corruption. She regrets taking the money that had been going on a long time. She's trying to squash it and everything. And she may have taken an action against a pregnancy.
Oh, those pro-lifers. Oh, I'm sorry, pro-baby people that can.
Yeah, because it's done. It's done. It's over. But I get there's more evidence coming on her. She will be put in defense mode. So, and they have that law in Texas. Like you do anything, even in another state, we'll arrest you here.
Good old Texas. Where would we be without you?
So can't even get me on the anti-abortion stuff because I will lose my mind. Like it's so wrong. It is so wrong. Now they're treating women like properties of the state. Think about it. You cannot leave. We forbid you to leave. That means you're owned by the goddamn state. Your body autonomy is owned by the state.
It's no better than North Korea.
Snip at this point. Anyway.
So, hoe number 2 in Paxton's life would be his wife, who voted to acquit him. How's she feeling now? How's that relationship now?
Anything for money. The love of money, the root of all evil. lust, basically, the root of
And
all.
he's still got all his other indictments and stuff. So.
So is this trial officially over?
Yeah, he got acquitted Friday night, I think it was, kind of late. My Christmas tree is on a timer, and the lights haven't come on yet, and Stewie's down here messing with the timer, so that's probably why. Oh, bless her heart. Itty bitty heart.
Oh, Lord.
Gotta love these people that like to tell others how to live, and then they're the most corrupt, evil SOBs ever.
Family values.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, church, God, Republicans, apple pie, flags, all that good stuff.
Do as I say and not as I do.
Mm-hmm. Don't look behind the door. There's a pool boy back there.
Mm-hmm. And a pregnant mistress that I'm about to send somewhere else to get an abortion. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get, Johnny?
I get a lot of profane language with the Knight of Swords is in the Eight of Wands. They're both very quick. This one is fast and out of control. This one is just quick turnarounds of something. And so this being out of control language. So we have some sort of profane business going on because she's right there in the middle. She feels also a little jilted, but she's trying to keep the public face. And with the Four of Cups and the Empress, there could be some boredom and some apathy and some despondency, and she feels a little dejected. But that's what they made divorce for, homegirl.
Mm-hmm.
But in the word of warning is the Hierophant. Morals and traditions may be the thing that sort of traps her in place. So we'll see.
I get it's dead, and there's growing isolation and distance in that relationship. Coffin, mountain, tree. What is this? Tower and ship. That's their relationship. It's dead. It ain't going nowhere. Done. Kaput. Stick a fork in it. Growing isolation here and distance. Also, perhaps their own personal ambitions is the only reason why they stay. But there's distance here, so.
Yeah, I get she's wearing the pants in the family right now. She's pushing and bullying him. Oh, tree came on. He's trying to return, trying to get back in good graces with her, and she is like pushing back on him. He lied about the mistress to her, I get, and there's other things that are coming up. It's the Tower moment here. I think with all the evidence that has come up on around him and his money and everything, with all of that, he feels victorious that he won the acquittal, but all the corruption came out. The House laid out all the corruption and fellow Republicans that voted for his impeachment. So there's an abundance of other stuff that's going to come up with him in court trials, and it looks to me like he's trying to talk her into staying with him through those trials.
To do what?
Help him look like a normal,
a good family values.
Family value man.
Lord, please. They're going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So while we're on Paxton, the Lieutenant Governor, Dan Patrick, confessed bias. He was the one that ran the trial in the Senate. And he got like 16 of them or whatever to vote for acquittal, or all but 16, I think, something like that. It's mostly Republican in their Senate. Will anyone move forward on Paxton's federal indictments now?
I know he had federal indictments.
He's got all kinds of indictments from before he got elected that haven't gone to court yet because he squashed the court cases for the time being. Trump had gotten on social media saying, you should acquit this guy. So all the MAGA people voted to acquit him. He had enough votes. And all the ones that are scared to go against that voted to acquit him.
Okay.
I mean, even the speaker or majority leader in the Senate said it was awful that they did not vote to remove him. What you getting, Johnny?
No, I get good luck and success. He does have a lot of negativity surrounding him still with the Page of Swords, but that is about as negative as it got. There's the magician in the world. Someone with power and manipulation has completed something or has shut something down. And then in the end, he gets the sun and the star. So, no, it gets better. They sweep it under the rug.
What you getting, Becca?
So I asked what happens with Paxton's DOJ, because he's been convicted, hasn't he?
Just indicted. I don't think convicted yet.
Okay.
He hadn't had his trials.
I asked what the outcome of that would be. I get the child, the birds, the sun, the house, and the key. New interviews, new testimony, new people speaking up. And it's going to be very successful for those that were closest to him and his little entourage of people that are going to have to answer questions, and they get answered. They get answered. I only pulled a line of 5, so I don't know if that means he's going down. I asked what happens to it.
Well, that's interesting because the people that testified against him in the trial, the Senate trial, were people that worked for him, that complained about all of the money he was taking and everything. He used state money to pay them off, settle out of court, but got rid of them. But they came back and testified in the Senate trial, people that worked under him. So that's his entourage.
So it's almost like perhaps the feds may use those people's testimony or call them in because there's new testimony, new answers, new interviews here. And then there's success and a lot of heat. There's the entourage, people at the office, and the answers that are seeking. So it's almost like DOJ might use the platform of his impeachment and go to these very same people.
Yep.
Get answered what they need, but it's showing that it's very successful here in the end. So, because I just asked for the outcome of the DOJ indictments. So according to this, it's successful for the DOJ, but they go to these people. New testimonies, new conversations, meetings, interviews, all that stuff. And interviewing those in the entourage in the office, in his little administration here, the birds and house. And then something in the early stages here in the beginning that is successful, and then they have access to it. So
I'm getting the same thing because he got a lot of attention through this trial here, and he's celebrating and partying and stuff. But there's treachery here. The people that he separated will be questioned. They'll move forward with those people. He'll try to block this through the courts for a little bit, so I do get he's secure for a little bit at getting away with that. But I get more indictments come. And he will. I get a yes. He will, go to trial. He's not going to like this, and that may be what finally gets him out when he's got federal prison staring at him.
I just can't with these people. Please tell me why you should open up a bullcrap impeachment inquiry into Biden because of something his son did that had nothing to do with him. But meanwhile, let's fill up all, branches of government with freaking indicted people, and let's go ahead and prop up a felon with 91 charges as the lead for our party.
He when he was running for office, he already had indictments against him, and the idiots voted for him. It's like, what kind of idiots vote for somebody that with all these indictments of federal charges and stuff?
It just, at this point, it makes me wonder, because we know that Republican states and everything else are so gerrymandered beyond belief that I'm starting to wonder if those outcomes are a reflection of the voter base or because the maps are so carved out that they're picking their voters versus vice versa. Do you see what I'm saying?
Or there's shenanigans going on
and throwing out votes and all this other stuff. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, because at this point, I know we share this country with a bunch of crazies, but it's unfathomable to me
that they'd keep electing.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, a perfect example is Donald Trump. The guy has 91 felony charges as of right now, and there's a very small majority in this country that are like, nope, that's our guy, but it's a very small majority. It's less than a third of the country, so it just makes me wonder.
Hoe number 3 for the night. Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota is having an affair with Corey Lewandowski, who was on Trump's campaign, Both married. Lewandowski got married not that long ago, maybe a couple of years ago, not that long ago.
Bored already, huh? Gosh. Okay.
Either open marriage or, and Kristi Noem is big, family values and stuff, so...
It's okay. She was doing it in God's name. God told her to do it.
God told her to go screw this guy.
Don't blame it on me. Do not blame that shit on me. I am not your scapegoat.
Sleep with another man in the name of Jesus. Mm-hmm. We're doing now.
So what's the question, Jenny?
Well, I think to start with, how will this affect Kristi Noem politically? Because South Dakota is pretty conservative with family values.
Oh boy. Where's her husband at?
Not with her and Corey running around. They met in 2019. Oh, the Lincoln Project already made an ad on Kristi Noem. I mean, there was rumors at one time she might be the running mate, for Trump.
Well, she'd fit in.
I need to Google her because I have no idea.
Is she dark haired? Tell me if she's dark.
Dark haired.
Kristi, how do you spell her name?
Noem. Noem. No, ma'am.
Oh, that lady? That lady? Oh, you
I
got
don't know if she's got children and stuff, but yeah, her and Corey.
You gotta love it.
Corey, if I remember right, got in trouble for beating up one of his girlfriends one time.
Well, like that lovely.
Mhm.
Yeah, let me go have an affair with
An adulterer and a woman
girlfriend
beater.
Uh-huh. But go ahead and tell me what I can and cannot do with my own body. You know, like,
see, this is why you better be lucky I don't run the world.
I'm telling you, Johnny, if I ran the world, I'd have that shit cleaned up in a week. In a week. In a week.
But by all means, Hunter Biden's laptop.
You're right.
What'd you get, Johnny?
So when I get two of the same suit, it is usually an indication, a man and woman of the same suit, that they're a pair for me. And there she is in the word of warning. So she has caused a huge ripple. Actually, this man here, if she is still married anyway, there's a lot of defeat, the Five of Swords around that, a lot of dishonesty, win at all costs, dishonorable behavior, whatever you want to call it, Five of Swords-ish behavior. And that man is at the core of that too, so he's going to feel a lot of that. There is going to be a political stunt, maybe like Kristi Noem gives away hot dogs and donuts to unfortunate kids or something, because there's some sort of Nine of Cups,
donuts and BJ's.
And Lauren Boebert's the one handing out the donuts.
There is there's something around her work where she's trying to look prettier than thou. So if she's trying to clean up something. That's not going to work though, because people have memories, and the judgment card is here too. And I don't care which side of the fence you're on. If you give the other side something to run with, they're going to run with it. And so that's going to keep looping. And then the Nine of Swords, there's a lot of worry. As far as political goes, we'll see how the political stunt goes, but I think that's going to go very badly. But some more secrets are coming out, though. The High Priestess is here, and the High Priestess is fine if you are the gatekeeper of the secret and nobody else knows it. She went to the underworld to gain the knowledge and then sits on her perch. You come to her. But when you have things like the Knight of Swords, that is like the bull in the china shop, you kind of don't have a choice, because something is about to explode out, and we may know accidentally, we may know incidentally with some investigative reporting, but she's going to have to live with this for the next 4 years. And so there's going to be a whole lot just trickle. So it may not just be Corey Lewandowski. It could be a whole bunch of other people too.
Mm-hmm. It's the same thing I'm getting. I get that she loses support where it comes to finances and money. Here, the affair, there's the finances, the power, there's the money. It gets cut off here. News of that. So is she in the Senate?
No, she's the governor of South Dakota.
Oh, governor. Okay. So this right here, losing power, losing the abundance of power, and her power gets cut off here. Also, news of an abundance of affairs. There's the affair, there's the abundance of it, and there's the news. So this ain't her first rodeo, according to this.
Riding other cowboys. Hey, Lynn, and thank you, Lynn.
And it could be affairs with people like that are executives, bankers, businessmen, entrepreneurs.
Anybody traveling in state, because you don't get a lot of people in South Dakota.
Like this right here. Since this is like an executive and a very powerful person, this is like your cash money. This could be people that farmers. Do you see what I'm saying? But not farmers, but like the people that own, the owners, the executives of the farms. Affairs with like an abundance of stuff about affairs that comes out, and she loses power and financing and backing that way.
She may be one of those people that has a thing for a certain type of person, and just every time she sees like a trucker or a farmer or somebody named Bocephus, like she just it's on.
according to those cards, it wouldn't be your farmer that's out there plowing the fields. It would be the guy that owns the farms, that owns the equipment, the executive. The guy
He still could be a
rancher.
Huckleberry too. I mean, he just may have that thing.
She likes to think she's like in the TV show Yellowstone, and she's with all the rancher heads.
Yeah.
Auntie Lynn from Lynn's Tarot's in the chat. Becca, thank you, Lynn, for the super chat.
Hey, Lynn.
Well, her marriage is over. There's a imminent divorce coming because he would be stupid to stay with her. The embarrassment. I think she also has a drinking problem, so that may explain why she's slicker than a jar of Vaseline.
Damn, Jen. Damn. Holy moly.
Not to throw shade, but
Well, that's some shade, and I'm here for it.
let me just say she likes to be on top.
That's why you got the writer card. That's why I laughed.
Giddy up.
It ain't her first rodeo. There was a lot
Giddy
of rodeos.
Yeah, she's like going to be very erratic and trying to work on getting money and everything. But I get there's a lot of things too. She's a party animal here, but she may find that she is separated from the donors, from the people with money. So
What is going on?
there's going to be more illumination on her.
What is going on, Johnny? What are you? Please do share. Please do share, because you're having a good time, and I don't know what the hell you're.
I'm tickled. That's all.
Well, when you slicker in a jar of Vaseline,
Oh, Lord.
Thank you, Margaret. I don't know how she stays in bed. Shoo.
Maybe she likes the floor. Don't judge her.
The floor of the barn, Johnny. The floor of the barn.
Hey, sex. Thank you, lucky girl. Saddle up. I bet she's bareback.
Oh, Lord. Oh
my God. You got to get trashy when you're talking about all these people.
Oh, Lord.
And we haven't even gotten to Bobert yet.
Nope,
She probably likes overalls and the smell of formaldehyde and all that just gets her going.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Jesus
Okay.
Christian.
Well,
I bet she can't go to a MAGA rally. She probably lose her whole mind, then, don't she?
man, a
They
rally
all look the same around there.
all lined up.
Maybe she needs to move. That's what it is. You attracted to farmers and goat herders. You can't live in South Dakota. Go to Michigan or go to Canada.
Corey's not a goat herder.
Oh, God.
All right. The biggest hoe of the week, Lauren Bobert.
Oh, God. That
First video showed her new man. So she's already broken off with the old one. Divorce isn't even final yet, right? Grabbing her boob, and then
So let me get the order first. So she was married and she got divorced to the pedophile. He's a convicted sex offender.
Yeah, but I don't think
Divorce
that's
is
Got
final.
a boyfriend, and then now she broke up with the boyfriend, and now she's got this other one.
Yeah, so she goes to Beetlejuice at the theater in public, and she's sitting there in front of a pregnant woman, obviously pregnant. She was pretty big. You could see in the video, and she's vaping in the theater, and her boyfriend is grabbing her boob, and she's got this low-cut, tight dress on, and she like takes her hand and is holding his hand on her boob, and then another video from a different angle shows she full on grabs his crotch like a teenager in a movie theater.
Well, okay. Let's not forget that Lauren Boebert also brags about giving birth to her firstborn child in the front seat of a truck. Okay, so let's put it into context here. Okay, this is
Because when you're about to be a grandma, I guess maybe you're feeling a little bit old, so you got to act like a teenager again.
She's a 36-year-old grandma. A 36-year-old. Wait, is she 36 or 34?
36.
You have to also remember that old habits die hard. And she was an actual whore, so she may have just
No
reverted.
shade to sex workers out there.
You do you. Absolutely.
You do, but
If I was president, it'd be legal. But hey,
Don't run for Congress.
Don't sit there and bash other people when you get a job in the government thinking you're all smart when you have to take your GED 5 times because you're a failure.
She gets on stage at church all the time preaching about, family values and everything. And, here she is. She's 37, they're saying in the chat.
She's such a whole man. I saw bits and pieces of that clip. Not only is she wearing a very tight fitted dress with a low cut neckline, but the push-up bra on this girl, pardon my French, her tits were up to her freaking chin, dude. Like, Jesus Christ, how are you breathing?
I want to know, Becca, because I noticed that too. Did she have a little kidney transplant like Melania?
those things, Jenny. I mean, Victoria's Secret makes some great bras, but that was like, I was like, what is going on there? What is going on there?
Did she have a little boob job?
Does she have cosmetic surgery on her bosoms?
Did she have some kidney transplants, as you put it?
Yeah, the kidney transplants on her chest. So let's see. Did Lauren Boebert get cosmetic surgery on her bosoms? I just can't with these suckers, man. Like, throwing shade at sex workers when, girlfriend, you were one.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Lord.
Oh, I want to say thank you to Teresa Absher for the PayPal donation. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. What'd you get, Johnny? Did she get cosmetic surgery on her bosoms?
I'm gonna say no. Rumor has it that her boyfriend owns a bar that puts on drag shows. And I think that's maybe who helped her get dressed. Because if anybody knows how to make little of nothing look like big of something, it is a drag queen. Because there's somebody that with the Empress and the Emperor, whoever she's with, there's somebody he knows more intimately that assisted and aided her. But as far as like surgery goes, I get no on that. But she was aided by someone that she knows. She didn't dress herself. So that's what I get.
I gotta know. I got the lilies, the clouds, and the snake. No, she hasn't had a boob job, which I find funny with what Johnny has to say. You over there bashing on drag shows and drag queens and cross dressers, yet those are the first people you go to when you need a little makeover.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta love the hypocrisy there. You know who else would benefit from having a gay friend or a transgender friend? That moron over there from, what is it, Tennessee? Marsha Blackburn with the freaking hair that looks like she goes into puts the fork in the light socket every morning while pouring hairspray into her hair. You'd be fine with a cross-dresser friend too, you know.
Yeah, I get that there's a man that helped her manipulate and shift those babies up. She is healing from some kind of surgery though, but it's not implants.
Tummy tuck.
it might be like having her tubes tied, something along that line. So God help us that she doesn't. You know, if somebody stopped her from having more kids, thank you, thank you.
Yes, please.
And I think it's like she's burdened by children, like she doesn't want any more kids. So I do think she's had some kind of surgery, but she's
Okay.
this is just blowing up in her face big time. So we got to look at this. So they escort her out. She claims she wasn't vaping. It was very clear on the videos, both videos, she was vaping in front of the pregnant woman. I want to know, was she vaping pot? Because it's legal in Colorado.
Yeah, I thought marijuana was legal in Colorado for
Yeah.
recreational purposes. However,
But,
I
but
don't
not in a
think that
public theater.
yeah, I was going to say, but I don't think that applies to you going into a theater and vaping, whether you're vaping cigarettes or vaping marijuana.
You
inside
can't
of
vape cigarettes in a public place. You can't vape on a plane, whether cigarettes or pot. You can't
Yeah.
vape in public around other people.
What was the
So
question?
was she vaping pot?
Another thing, you know, Republicans over there criminalize make marijuana a class 1, you know, drug, when all it does is make you hungry and go to sleep. But keep it as a class 1 because that way we can throw more people into private prisons. But then she's over there vaping and a freaking getting groped up in a theater. But
Okay, William. The reason Marsha Blackburn looks like she does, gay men refuse to touch her hair. Her hair's always messy.
I'm telling you, it looks like she sticks a fork in a light socket, so her
What
hair
is
gets
Marsha Black? Okay, let me look then.
and someone sits there and,
Gay men refuse to touch her hair.
and someone sits there and hairspins her hair into place. Because my grandma used to tease her hair when, you know, little ladies with the.
Okay, Jesus. Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Bless her
Marsha
heart.
Blackburn looks like she could pull all kinds of squirrels and shit out of her hair.
Bless her heart. Jesus.
Possums living in there, squirrels, rats.
Bless her heart, Jesus. She still used hairspray from 1961. That's what that is. She get out there and do that at the same time. That's right. Oh, bless her
Oh
heart.
my God. So was she vaping marijuana?
Was she vaping marijuana?
She color her eyebrows too.
Uh-huh.
I
That
mean,
lady,
you, if that's what you like, go for it.
the lady from the Tennessee 3, the only one that didn't get expelled, remember the lady, the 2 black guys and the older lady? She's running against Marsha Blackburn. And Marsha Blackburn has been crapping her pants with all her ads lately because the lady that's running against her is gaining a lot of popularity. So.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Marsha Blackburn do not wear turtlenecks, homegirl.
Hair.
Please don't do it. Don't do it. Whoever said do it, don't do it. You need all the neck you can give right now. Look like a Mr. Potato Head when she. And then you're a Republican, so they take unflattering pictures of you on purpose anyway. Oh, Jesus, look at the one hustle. Look, get off this thing, boy. I'm supposed to be reading cards.
Yeah, she's a scary looking one over there.
Okay, pay attention. What am I doing?
Vile person too.
I'm going to say yes. There was something for party with the 3 of Cups, party, recreation, something of that nature. This is your celebration, your good time to be had. So yeah. For whatever reason, though, I don't think she carried it in there. Did she have a purse?
She had a purse, which her boyfriend carried out for her.
Oh, okay. Well, because there's something about.
As she threw the "Don't you know who I am" line.
I know she flipped somebody off too, and she did all. She was good and trashy that day.
Mm-hmm. There's your high card right there. She was high on a couple things. Not just there's the high. There's the being, more than one double, and then there's the party or the public space right there. But yeah, she was high on a couple of things, not just vaping. So who knows what? I mean, probably high and drunk, or But wouldn't it have been fantastic, though, if she and her boyfriend were sitting there vaping in a theater, getting groped up? Do you know who I am? Gets kicked out, gets followed by the cops, and then gets freaking arrested for driving under the influence. That would have been
That would have been classic. I think she might have been taking some pills too, because I get strength on what she was partaking of, and there's a family legacy with this. So her family's like known for this. So it is something that would change her thinking. So yeah, it wasn't tobacco. So the reason I asked that, because she applied, in Washington, D.C. for a concealed carry permit, just like Hunter Biden. And Hunter Biden, lied on his when he got it, which is why he's now indicted. So did she lie on her concealed carry permit in D.C.?
Because she, like the other crazy person, wants to take a gun to work. And that's all you really need is stupid girl 1 and stupid girl 2 standing there arguing with each other again, and now they got guns.
And here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Okay, you write no on your concealed carry application. Do you also get drug tested as well? Because it would be pretty freaking stupid if you're applying for a concealed carry and all you do is have to answer questions, and there's no way of proving whether you're lying on that piece of paper or not.
Yeah, they should make them take a drug test.
Yeah. You want a concealed carry? Take a freaking drug test for everything.
Did she lie on her concealed carry like Hunter Biden did?
No, ooh, okay. I don't know what a concealed carry license application looks like, but there is a lie on there, but I don't know if it has to do just with drugs or substances. There's something too about either state of mind or income or something that you are lacking, because the 5 of Pentacles is here. There's the lacking of something. I don't know what it is exactly. It's accompanying the devil, though. And so there's a whole lot of information left out when it came to something that should be there or something that should have been disclosed, and it is not. But yeah, there is a lie on there. The devil doesn't lie, pops up for a reason. So
I got a yes.
Yeah, I get something that she does steadily and gets away with, but it's something controversial in the details that would put her in defense mode. So would bring the tower down on her. So yeah, she lied on it. All the things she accuses or bitches about Hunter Biden, she did herself. So, Miss Bobert, grabbing a man's crotch in a public theater with thousands of people in there, I don't believe that that's legal. I think that's called lewd and lascivious behavior.
Isn't that what Pee Wee Herman got arrested for back
Yes,
in the day?
ma'am.
I mean, he was touching himself in the theater, but isn't that what Pee Wee Herman way back in, like, I was a little kid, like 90s or something when that happened?
And it's on 2 videos, and we all saw it. So is she got any charges coming for lewd and lascivious? I can't say the word lascivious behavior. She got a little indictment coming.
yeah, thrown out of Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Say it 3 times.
I get no, but someone is going to try to worry her with it. So again, if you give them even an inch, they're going to take a mile. So someone's going to run with it. But there's my card for indictments or charges or anything like that, and then I get the 10 of swords. So no, nothing like that. But there is something, some sort of aspect about family and children and family behavior and things of that nature. And so somebody is going to take that and run with it. And that makes for very good political ad coverage, too. And so there's that.
Will she be indicted or charged? No. However, this is a family venue. Families here in a public space. Very important to keep certain things private, like groping people. Okay. If you look here, this is, sorry, wrong part.
You want to go mushroom hunting, do it at home.
If you look at that, there's the King of Hearts. Okay. Not exactly a man, but there could be someone in her state that can campaign on this. That guy that was running against her, that she
Adam Frisch, I think his name is, or something.
She squeezed out a win by like 500 votes or something. Families are going to, things that should have been kept private because this was a family venue that weren't, this person now has the advantage for that community, for that district, because of family values. If you want to paint that, say it like that, you know? So yeah, it's going to be used against her in a campaign, but no indictments. So
I get the strength in using it as messaging for power. So this is probably Adam over here, bringing balance back. Miss Bobert, what were you thinking? I actually get somebody, older gentleman, somebody higher up may pay off somebody to protect her from getting indicted. So there's some dark money floating around to keep this nipped and under the radar to not indict her. Do you know who I am?
CC Ryder says I can see an ad. Hose for Jesus.
Hose for Jesus.
Hey,
that's what I am.
Yeah, right.
And Johnny knows this because Johnny was a preacher. Wasn't there like certain passages in the Bible where Jesus actually did help women that were in that?
Because Jesus is not a Republican, so he was not judgmental. So you all need help. Therefore, I'm going to help every one of you.
Well, and MTG, is on her new boyfriend and everything, literally and figuratively. Are we going to see some mohos in the Republican Party come out over?
Can I ask one more about Bobert before we move on? So she's in a public space doing very private things. Was she on the clock? Is she still working? Is she reverting back to old ways? Now, this is her boyfriend, but that can be renamed with the right amount of money. People who escort do not go out with hoes. They go out with a person that looks like a date. And so, is she working still?
Is she escorting on the? Yeah. Oh.
Is the new guy hiring her? Is she working for something? Or is she in love? Could it be?
Do you remember that show back in the day, Married with Children? And the girl that Christina Applegate used to play that always wore the tight clothes and she was a little bit, pardon my French, slutty. That's Lauren Boebert, but like way lower, like trash, like Taylor Park trash. Ho with the coupon at 50% off.
Yeah, and I'd like to know how she's going to explain those videos to her kids and grandkids.
She's proud.
Look at Mama.
She's proud that her 17-year-old son impregnated a 14-year-old. She's so proud because God is making her a grandmother.
Well, I'd be careful sitting next to her in public places. She might grab me. Hobart. Y'all calling her Hobart.
Bimbo Hobart. Because I was calling her Bimbo Bobert, now it's Bimbo Hobart.
Hobart.
So is she still working? Is Hobart still working?
She's still raising some funds on the side for
part-time job.
I mean,
might be full time. She missed a few votes, in the Senate, in the House.
I mean,
remember when she went running up on the steps and they're like, they've already closed the voting. She was like, oh, they have. Where were you?
yeah,
I get a no. I get having affairs for financing and power. No, those have ended. That don't mean she still ain't a hoe though. And again, I'm not throwing shade. The hypocrisy pisses me off, like you do you. I don't care what you're doing behind closed doors.
You want to sleep with everybody, go for it.
Go for it. Have fun.
Nothing to do with me. So.
I'm judging, but when you get somebody like that in their position and they're punching down, that's what pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll throw around some slurs when it comes to those people.
Yeah, I get a no, but she would revert to old ways if in her fight to retain her seat, if she needed to move on a man to help her get the money to retain her seat.
Here's the thing.
Mr. Trammell, all these wealthy donors want an easy target. There she is. Give her some money, she'll do it for you.
Here's the thing I don't understand though. And I'm not a man, so I don't know. Feel free for the gentleman in the chat to correct me. But why would you want to have an escort that has a third of a functioning brain cell, has no manners, has no way of carrying herself around an elite class of people, classy people? You know what I mean? You're taking out trash. You're putting lipstick on a trash pig is what you're doing. Like, are you that desperate for FUCK? Are you that DTF that you're going to take that out? You're
because
versus a Cadillac.
If all you wanted was something with the vagina, then you get you a prostitute. If you want an escort, you need to take her somewhere to make you look better.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't even need to talk to her all night. You just need somebody to stand there and say, oh, this is Fifi. She's from Fiji or something. So it's one of them things, but that's not it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't personally know any escorts or anything like that, but I'm thinking the women that cater to that class of men are educated, are good conversationalists, are well read. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, unless you're a guy that just wants a wet hole, I mean, pardon me, but it's like, I can't see how you would take out a torn up, messed up hoopty from the junkyard. Like, you could be driving a Cadillac.
Over the hoopty.
From the junkyard.
Junkyard. That thing's got 3 wheels and hubcaps, dude. I'm telling you.
It can't be that tight. She dropped the baby out in the truck.
What'd you get, Johnny?
I don't know.
Hoop-de-doo.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay. It starts with the temperance. That's your healing from addictions or past behaviors that were self-destructive to you. So no, but in the environment is the devil. So there is a tendency to repeat. Because remember, let me be serious for a second. When you are suffering from whatever kind of addiction, food, sex, drugs, alcohol, whatever, if you kick the addiction or if you find a way to release yourself from it, that does not mean it disappeared from the earth. And so if you stop drinking, if you stop smoking drugs, if you stop whatever the case may be, that stuff is still down here with you. And so there is the potential to repeat that in which you had a vice before. And this is in her environment, which means it's going forward. This is not in her past. And then it is the Fool is here too, which means there is going to be a lapse of judgment and a repeat of behavior, possibly. You still, the devil is here. The devil shows up for a reason, but God always gives you an out. If this is not what you want to do, you don't have to do it. But if you think you're going to win an election, then you just might, because the Chariot is here, the King of Pentacles is here, the Three of Pentacles is here, so she may need to do it for favor. And so there is that.
Here's one for you, Johnny. Did you see the comment? I missed the name, but saying Bobert's hole is like throwing a toothpick down a hallway.
It's like throwing a hot dog down the hallway. Ona said that in one of our live streams on a couple of months ago, like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
There's a comedian named Adele Givens. This is back in the way early 90s, maybe even late 80s, when Def Comedy Jam was a thing way back in the day. And she had a man in the audience that stood up. He wanted to make more noise than she did. And so she said, I'll paraphrase. She said, with your little and my big lips, that's like giving a whale a tic tac. So, and so it kind of gave birth to all those other little
Oh my God. Oh.
Y'all look that up. Adele Givens, Adelegivid.
Like giving a whale a tic tac. That's a good one. That's a good one.
She's the one who made the joke of like the two guys in the car and the one on the passenger side is asking you if you want to ride. She said, ain't that what you doing, getting a fucking ride? It's like and thus gave birth to the No Scrubs song. So there's that. So.
Oh, Lord. I love it.
William Rose says Gallagher, whose family is from Rifle, Colorado, is dating Bobert, which may have some questioning his taste. During a 2022 interview, Gallagher said the best burger in the valley was at McDonald's. So he doesn't have much taste anyway.
That explains a whole lot. Okay. That explains a whole lot. If the best thing you put in your mouth is 99 cents, then I get where you're coming from.
When you're in a public theater seeing a play like Beetlejuice, with family there and stuff, you're not at McDonald's.
Oh my God. He's just trashy, dude. Trashy.
Well, speaking of hoes, Kevin McCarthy, who basically did whatever he had to do to get votes to be the speaker. So
15 times. That was freaking fun. That was hilarious. Let's do it again.
So I call him a hoe too. They're threatening a no confidence vote against him. Mm-hmm. Now you got the MAGA, Freedom Caucus idiots, and then you've got people that are starting to break from that, like that don't want him to impeach Biden, don't want him to do, So if they do a no confidence vote against McCarthy, would some of the Republicans vote for Jeffries to be Speaker of the House, vote for the Dem to get the crazy out?
I'm going to ask if he's going to lose his speakership, because I don't want to be jumping into.
Let's start there. Will he lose his speakership? Because I got to believe there's who else would they nominate? The only other nominee they had the last time now has cancer. What's his name?
Can I go really quick because Peanut just got home? I just saw him, so I wanted to go say hi. Will he lose his speakership? There is a woman here, okay? This is ambitions. There's a very ambitious woman here that is looking to climb the ladder. I don't know who this woman is. I don't know if this would be like a Elise Stefanik, or an MT. I don't know who this is. But there's ambitions are rising. They're going up. She's wanting to climb the ladder, and it's her. Is what's Stefanik next in line for speakership? Is it her?
Everything's been tossed around. I get there's a woman there too.
But who's beneath him as speaker? Like, who's his next in line? Would it be Elise Stefanik, or is it the other guy?
I think it is her as the I forget what that position is called, but it's like second in the party.
So does it go Kevin McCarthy, Scalise, and then Stefanik? There's a woman here that has
Scalise is the one that has cancer now.
Okay, because there's a woman here in his party. She's eyeing how she's going to climb up her own ambitions. So that's what I get. So I don't know if this is saying this is not saying she's working against him or backstabbing him or anything. She's just eyeing how she's going to get from where she is
working
to the top.
To change and upgrade.
Yep. So I'm going to
hate a peanut. What you getting, Johnny?
Will he lose it? If just for a yes or no, I would say yes. I don't think this is meant to kick him out per se. I get the death card and the Four of Cups. They want a change, but they want to force it. That Four of Cups is that thing coming in. You have no choice but to take it, for it's part of your reality. You've got 3 cups. This is your 4th. Wasn't an option. So they're sort of trying to force a change, but not just a change, but a very big one. This has ripple effects. And so if you let them gain control, then the next year and a half is just going to be all about impeaching Biden and all that other kind of weirdness. That really doesn't help your party image. And so there's a huge change coming in that. And with the 5 of Swords, 9 of Swords, 5 of Cups, 5 of Wands, it's just meant to be divisive. It's just meant to be a fight. They're meant to hold your feet to the fire. They're going to worry you. But then again, you were the one who bent over and took it all. So there's that.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I get he's out in the cold. I get there's a woman stirring up all kinds of problems. So I have that same woman treachery here. Not quite sure where they're going yet, but also looking to try to heal something. I get an ending for him, pack his bags, he's going. So, and he's anxious about it. It's like he knows. So back to my original question. Would Republicans, enough of them, vote for the Democratic nominee just to try to get some normalcy back in the House because they're so split with that MAGA side? Trillium saying it is McCarthy, Scalise, Emmer, and then Stefanik in chain of command. So would enough of them come over to elect Jeffries? It'd be a great way to get MAGA shut up, because if they had Jeffries in running the House, you know he'd take like Jim Jordan off of his committee and all those other idiots.
I get no. The Chariot card, the card of opposite sides of the aisle, it would take a whole lot of work. This is something you do over like the span of like 9,000 years to try to get them to jump ship. And mind you, even if they did vote for Jeffries, they wouldn't do it in confidence. They do it in spite. And so it's not like I think he's a great leader, let's vote for him. It's a calculated thing if they were to do that. The 3 of Wands, something does fast approach though. And so there's something coming, but it would still be a Republican. 10 of Pentacles, my Republican card. Word of warning, King of Wands, they don't want a new leader an outside leader anyway. But there is a person that is actually making a call for that, for some Republicans to be a little more sensible. So it's not in the realm of impossibility, but I don't think it's going to happen. But someone is sort of letting out a little beacon of let's not be so crazy, because remember where it led us the last time when we all had to hide in the broom closet. So there is someone, I don't know who, but someone trying to be the voice of reason, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I get some are pondering it, thinking about it. It would mean separating from their own party. Here, separating their support out. At the root of this, I get a yes. If they return to voting on this, but I do get there's a new woman that would probably get enough support to get voted in. But I do think that there are some, this is my card for Democrats, there are some that would put their energy behind and vote for a Democrat in the House. So there are some that are getting tired of all the sneaking around. They can't afford to lose any votes, really. So you're probably looking at another 15, 20 vote to get somebody elected. So Hunter Biden, indicted. Will he serve any jail time? He's facing up to 10 years, I think. The kitties are all sacked out on my sofa over here. They had all their kitty treats before we started. Hunter Biden, is he going to serve any jail time?
I'm going to say yes. Especially, it might be house arrest or something like that, but there's some jail here. Well, there's some solitary confinement. I'll say it that way. What I'm getting more from this read, though, is this is a good thing for him, actually. This might be his revelation with the hermit in the tower. The hermit searches for answers. The tower is upheaval. And so something has to be blown apart before you can see the answer sometimes. And so this is also a revelation of sorts. And so you get the 10 of cups and the 6 of cups, and maybe he needs to surround himself with what's important instead of what's he's addicted to. And so I do get that there is some thrown out in the cold, and again with the tower with the isolation. So he may be going through some sort of confinement, but I still think things is a good thing for him. And mind you, just to be fair, it's a good thing for Trump too, but this is a good thing for him.
I get no on jail, no to jail. They offer him something else, and so it's some, to your point, it's some kind of confinement that he's offered. To me, it kind of looks like he may be put out with his family, so maybe it's some confinement of some kind.
What were you guys reading on? I missed the whole thing. So
Hunter Biden, will he serve any time in jail? He's anxious about it, but it looks to me like he works out some kind of plea deal, some kind of plea agreement.
nonviolent offender, blah blah blah, and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Name recognition.
Whatever it is, the Republicans aren't going to be happy about it. They're going to be like raising.
I get it now. He won't be able to travel, and there might be some sort of a link, like a bracelet or a cuff or something on him. I don't get isolation, no travel, and I don't know if this is like an ankle bracelet or what, but I don't get prison. And if they do, there's a whole bunch of people. Look at Kyle Rittenhouse, who illegally obtained a gun, went across state lines, and killed 2 people while he was sitting there butting up with the judge in the middle of his trial. So
As a teenager.
As a teenager. Okay, don't even get me started. Don't get me started.
Okay, so Mitt Romney has a new book coming out now that he's not running for re-election. And he is all over the Republicans, and he really, in some of the excerpts that they've gotten, the book isn't out yet. It's not coming till October. It is one book that I do want to read. But he was
Get it from the library. Don't get it from the library. Don't give that bastard your money. No.
He was giving Mitch McConnell hell for doing nothing after January 6th. I mean, he was, and how Mitch drummed up enough votes to acquit Trump.
Did you see the text messages that came out? Before January 6th, he texted Mitch McConnell that said, "Hey, I'm hearing from so and so and so and so that things are going to get violent here, yada yada yada," and crickets from Mitch McConnell.
Is there enough security and blah blah blah? So I want to know, first of all, will it affect Republicans in their re-election? Will it affect the Republican Party at all? Or do because they consider him a rhino because he voted to impeach Trump or remove him, I should say, because he was in the Senate. Will it just wash over like everything else?
What'd you get, Johnny?
Oddly enough, I think it will affect some people here. I thought it'd probably be just another book like all the rest of them, right? Pence wrote one, and Donald Trump's still popular. So there's that. But here with the Hangman and the Queen of Cups, there's a change in perspective when it comes to support. And so there is the 3 of Cups and the Star. So I think he actually he's going to get some TV time, possibly some interviews. He'll be on all the daytime people and all the MSNBC because they love to talk to Republicans, and so there's this type of thing. He'll be in some spaces and places to where he gets to promote and talk about Jan 6 because that's going to be a big, huge talking point in what he thought and what he experienced and so forth and so forth. And there's 5 of Wands, so there is a lot of conflict in politics at play. 3 of Swords, 8 of Cups. So some people will see this. There's a lot of questioning happening, at least, because the 2 of Pentacles is here. So it's a lot of, hey, Mitt Romney said, so what do you have to say? And then they'll say nothing or anything or whatever. But I think it does flip some people's support, oddly enough.
I do too. What are you getting, Becca?
I get that it causes a lot of problems for a very small group of people. Now, small could be the free dumb caucus, and it could also mean the minority being the Republicans, because it's small. It causes a lot of problems, widespread chaos and problems. This right here is a series of unfortunate events, because this is very widespread, and this covers the light of the stars. So it's just bad after bad after bad after bad after bad. And he just came out in that interview and said that the Republican Party no longer believes in the Constitution of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So the minority party, the small party, even fractions within the minority party, whether it's the Freedom Caucus or whatever extremist group is going to come out of the Freedom Caucus, there's going to be problems there. So will it affect them? Yes, in a very negative way. So,
yeah. And I get with donors too, like being able to get commitments to money and securing that's a problem, that changes. I get there's also more secrets that were talked about behind the scenes about Trump. So more conversations and what they were going to do about things. There's big problems in especially in the House. Like this will disrupt a lot in the House. So goodbye, Mitt Romney. Hello, whoever new is charging in.
And Kevin McCarthy is just a horrible leader. He's got and here's the irony of it all. Him and the one guy that used to be the speaker that left during Trump's administration, that's now over at Fox News. What was his name? Rand something or Paul something, whatever the guy's name was.
Yes.
Okay, they started the Freedom Caucus. It was them two. And look at what it is now. A bunch of crazies that are holding the Republican Party hostage. So all those people that just won in New York, in Biden districts, goodbye. George Santos, goodbye. Lauren Boebert, goodbye. So that's what, 8 people right there out of a slim 10-seat majority? Just New York, George Santos and Lauren Boebert. Right there. That leaves you 2. Good luck. Good luck. You know, Paul Ryan. Thank you. Paul Ryan. Not Rand Paul. Paul Ryan. So there's the irony of it.
Jack Smith has finally requested a gag order on Trump.
I say muzzle him and then put a shock collar on his ass. And every time he opens his mouth,
we know he won't be able to stick to it, but will he get the gag order? Well, Chuck can put a gag order on Trump.
I'm gonna sit this one out, because in the grand tableau on the corners, remember it was anchor, book, birds, mice. That's talking about the classified documents that he stole. It's also talking about achieving something to keep quiet and your speech gets taken away. So I'm gonna sit this one out and see what you guys are getting. But that was on the corners of Trump's grand tableau.
I was laughing my ass off, Johnny, at your video the other day where you were looking at the defense of Trump and saying, you just gotta have to treat him like a dog and give him treats when he does, as a lawyer for Trump, when he does what you want him to do. It's like, it's so true. So will there be a gag order put on Trump?
Well, we shall see if it works, but 8 of Wands, talking, temperance, moderation, shut the hell up, calmness. We'll see. But yeah, there's a Page of Wands. There's your talking, though. You're talking, your communications, your tweeting too, because this I use for verbal conversations back and forth. This I use for everything else. So that comes with the devil. And so there's that.
So I agree. I think that they're going to try to change things because he's tainting the jury pool. So I think for practical reasons and because he's making people anxious, they will try to shut him up. And so the court's partnering to constrict him. He's not going to like it, of course. It's like Tower moment. So when he breaks the gag order, which we know he will, we don't even have to throw cards on that. What will be done? When he breaks the gag order.
Because up until now, like Letitia James, she's doing all she can do. You know, she's going after the maximum amount of money she can at times. Brad could have done more, sure. But Jack Smith and Fonnie Willis, they went all the way through with everything they needed to do and wanted to do. Like this not over yet, but somebody did something, and that's what we've been waiting for 6.5 years.
It's also like they're several steps ahead of everybody else because there's Roro behind me. Because every time somebody files something, they're like, boom, right back. It's like, they anticipated every reaction. So, what will they do when Trump defies the gag order? First rally he goes to. I'm not supposed to talk about this. And then he'll talk about it. For entertainment purposes only, YouTube.
Oh, good Lord.
It's funny, every time I see TFG, I know it means the former guy, but my brain thinks that effing guy. Like, I don't know.
That's true.
It's because you have a profanity problem, man.
I do, and I love it. What'd you get?
I'm everything that could happen would happen, because it told me you can just keep pulling all the cards you want. It just gives me even more and even more. Okay, so like I pulled 3, the Justice came up, pulled 3 more, the Tower came up, pulled 3 more, the 5 of like anything and everything that could happen. It starts with the Fool, naturally, because that's him, and the Hermit. And so there is some sort of isolation. There is some time out, go and think about your actions type thing. There's the diminishing of his celebrity and popularity. So something is cut off and cut out type of thing too, because he is burdened and he has a lot of bad news. There's also maybe a fine that goes along with this. I don't know, but there's the 9 of Pentacles. So it's a whole heap of money, or it's a lot of money for regular people, I should say. But then there's the 5 of Wands. It's almost like they want this to hurt because they want you to know it's serious.
Oh, he's not.
So it's one of them things to where they're going to throw the absolute everything they can at him. Whether they need to put you in jail, give you a huge heavy fine, they need to put you under special monitoring. Whatever it is they need to do, they're going to do it because, again, they need to know that this is serious. Now, you're still going to be Donald Trump because you can't help it at this point. Your child, please. But they are going to make it hurt, I think.
I don't get isolation or jail or anything. He's going to get cut off somehow. And we're going to hit him with fines because there's these two here. When you look at, what is this, the scythe, the whip, and the bear, this is very powerful and dangerous. Violence. Okay, so his speech is inciting violence, or there's evidence of it already. The people that showed up at the judge's house, the people that went to the FBI thing that ended up in a shootout, there's enough evidence already, which Jack Smith did a fabulous job of putting that in his report to Judge Chutkin. But here, it's looking like it's financial. So it's going to be, and it repeats over and over and over again. There's a pattern to his abuse and his rhetoric, but there's nothing here that says jail or isolation. They just start hitting him up with charges and fines and fines and fines. With this right here and this, not just money charges, but perhaps adding to his current charges. Do you see what I'm saying? because there's an abundance of it. There's an abundance of him violating the charges or violating the orders. So it comes not only financially, but it's almost like it gets added to his current charges. Do you see what I'm saying?
Trying to witness tamper and jury tamper.
Witness. So it's almost like he doesn't get sent to jail, and they don't cut out his tongue or give him a shock collar. They fine him, and then they add to the current charges. So you have 91. By the end, you're gonna have 300. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I get, but I don't get jail or isolation or none of that.
I get first thing sanctions and fines, but he gets away with talking, in the future, and they're going to have to come up with another way of constricting him. I think they will put someone in charge over him at home to burden him and silence him at home. So I think he'll probably end up on house arrest, so to speak.
Can we ask, will Judge Chutkan move up his trial date?
That was my next question.
Oh, okay.
Move up the trial date to because he's tainting the jury pool. Will she move it from March? Will she move it up? I felt like this one would go bam, bam, bam. So it wouldn't surprise me if this one was sooner. Right, Robo? By showing me your belly.
I get a yes. There's an abundance of stuff that he's putting out there that shouldn't be put out there, whether it's on Twitter or on his fake Truth Social or whatever. But there's an abundance here of secrets and stuff that he should not be letting out that get exposed here. So I get a yes. It's almost like there's guidance and it goes in a new direction. So.
I think they may go back to the original plan Jack Smith had, which was December something that he proposed. Because I get he's burdening the jury pool with what he's saying, and they move it up, they change it. So going back to the original plan, thank you, Mary. Going back to the original plan that was talked about by Jack Smith.
And with that gag order, though, it's only for the January 6th stuff because he's polluting every jury pool he's in.
Yeah.
Because he's got the bully pulpit and he's taken full advantage of him. And when the courts tell him something, he's just like, yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah. He thinks he can get away with it.
What are you going to do to me? What are you going to do to me? I'll just stick my brown shirts on you. You know?
What are you getting, Johnny? Will they speed the trial up?
I get no. The tower fell out while I was shuffling, so I pulled, and I get the devil and the 5 of Pentacles. So I get no.
I have to go back to Bobert again. I forgot this question.
The hoopty from the junkyard 3.
Hoopty Hobart.
So you know how was it MTG that showed the Hunter Biden nude photos on the House floor? I want to know, will the Dems show Bobert's groping tape on the House floor? I'm becoming of a House representative behavior. Will they show her videos on the House floor, which puts it into the records? Library of Congress. Something Bobert's never been in, a library.
Not dressed, anyway.
That's petty.
Yeah. What was that that I missed? I had it on mute. What are you all laughing about?
I said, if they read it on the House floor, it goes into the records. So Library of Congress. So I said a library, somewhere Bobert's never been before. And Johnny said, not dressed. No library card.
Oh my God.
She left it in her other pants. Will they? No, but they are going to depend upon everybody with the pulpit to play it in a loop 36 hours a day. So all the Rachel Maddows and the other lady and the other lady and the other guy and the other lady and the other two guys, all them people run it in a loop and play it and play it and play it, and then on the other stations play it and play it and play it. So it's going to be out there forever. There's a strategy to this because they need her to be painted in a light of someone unbecoming of her office, which isn't she already? So I mean, anyway, we'll see if it works. But I mean, it's not like her and Marjorie carry the badge of honor, so it's. You ain't got to sell me on them being horrible people. I already figured that out. So.
We're going to have to look at what Marjorie thought of this.
Lord.
No, they're going to leave it to the news stations to report about her affair. There's the news, there's the report, there's the affair. So, no, they're not going to bring it to the floor. They're just going to let the news carry their water for them.
I get they will call attention to her family values, so to speak, so they'll share it with other people, so it could be on news or something. But I get there's something about Marjorie Taylor Greene getting ready to come up. So Marjorie might be enjoying that she's got some. What do you want? Some ammunition against Boebert. So what's Marjorie Taylor Greene thinking now about Boebert getting caught in this video?
Judgment flew out, so we'll keep that
too. Hey, don't undecorate the tree. What do you want? Your belly side up. Yeah.
Marjorie better watch where she's going because she's got the other plastic face crazy Laura Loomer on her now because she's snuggling up to Kevin McCarthy. What'd you get?
There's judgment still. She thinks she's still hoeing. Pimping ain't easy. She's going to spread that. I don't know if she thinks that legitimately, but she's going to spread that. There's Marjorie, probably literally. There's Marjorie there. And then there's the Ace of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. So she's going to be talking about her in her paid work. But there's going to be a lot of judgment on it. And you know what? I think Marjorie Taylor Greene is the worst person on earth. Well, not the worst, but right up there. But you know what? Get your laugh in. Go ahead. I mean, if I were you and I were horrible too, I'd do the same things. But she's going to relish in this and she's going to spread rumors too. So there's that.
I get that. What do you get, Becca?
What does she think about Lauren Boebert? She's not bright and she's going to continue to give her the cold shoulder. Like just, that. But that's pretty rich coming from an idiot that wants to secede from the union and announced it on 9/11. So that's rich. That's rich. And
to secede.
Yeah, it's like, you do realize there's a bunch of Dems in Georgia. So, okay, have fun with that. And also, by the way, it's like she's over here talking about Lauren Boebert ain't bright. It's like, honey, you look in the mirror lately?
The Neanderthal woman.
I mean, seriously.
She's going to act all disgusted. I get gossipy also, like every chance that she gets that she's not done with Boebert. So she's going to talk. She'll talk about how she parties all the time instead of working, that kind of thing. She's not done with her. She's gonna rag on this for a while.
I'm just waiting to see the fist fight on the House floor between MTG, Lauren Boebert, and Plastic Face over there, Tupperware lady Lauren Loomer.
You can
That's
catch
gonna
them
be
between boyfriends, and they're all frustrated because they haven't had sex in a while.
Or there's so much, what'd you say, Jen? Vaseline.
Yeah,
That you gotta have a bungee cord. The man's got a bungee cord and stabilize himself so he don't freaking fall in and never come out again. Black hole.
you want to bet they fight over sitting next to Bobert
Oh my
in the
god.
house.
I mean, that whole thing, the whole Freedom Caucus is worse than a freaking bad Jerry Springer rerun. It's bad. Like, it's just trash.
Yeah, but yeah, she smells blood in the water. It's like if Bobert were in the ocean, MTG would pour blood in to draw the sharks. That's exactly what she's going to try to do with this. Can we look at Jared Kushner for a minute? You know, they're opening up his investigation into all his money from the Saudis.
I'm going to set this one out because I'm going to do a GT on him. Is that okay, Jenny?
Okay. Is there going to be an indictment of Kushner? Is there going to be some illegal monies found? He made $640 million while Trump was in the White House, and then $2 billion from the Saudis afterwards. And he's tied in with the Live golf course stuff.
And didn't he have that one Secretary of State or Secretary of something? He inched that person out of the administration. He had them kicked out.
He in all likelihood, he gave evidence to the Saudis of people that were investigating the Saudis, which is why Khashoggi got killed, because he
gave them a kill list. He gave them a kill list of people. Mm-hmm.
For entertainment purposes, only YouTube, allegedly. Because he also had access to top secret information, which he shouldn't have, because he didn't earn a security clearance.
This feels like the repeat of Donald Trump. This goes on forever. Well, it may feel like forever for those who are waiting for results of something. There's the fool and the lovers. And so there's other people who are attached to this. Interestingly enough, the fool is not Donald Trump. Donald Trump, we don't call the fool to be insulting. The fool is just a person who rushes into something unprepared. And so he's getting that here. And then there's a bunch of people around him that sort of, okay, this one gets indicted, this one gets indicted, that one gets indicted and cooperates. This one gets indicted. And so there's a whole bunch of that. And then you eat away at the allies and the base defense until you can get something strong against him. And then 18 months down the line, you may hear about something and then hear about this and so forth and so forth. But to answer the question, will there be criminal charges? Yes.
I think so too. I end with a big yes card here, because he was doing, like you said, a lot like Trump, treachery, partnering, handshake deals. There's a lot of questions that need to be asked. But I do get DOJ charging in, burdening him. And then I get a female. So I think this is one of the females in the DOJ taking an action against him. So I do feel like it will go to court. Big old yes on that he'll get indicted.
You know who else was involved with all that stuff? Steve Mnuchin.
Yeah. Steve Mnuchin was over in Saudi Arabia when January 6th happened, and then he also got $1 billion from the Saudis. So,
and he made a crap ton of money while in office running the IRS.
Yeah, like how do you get so wealthy running the IRS? Oh, here comes Huey.
So
he always has to put his butt in my face. That's how you can tell the difference between him and Roro.
So to Johnny's point about getting all the other people, Steve Mnuchin, I can think of right off the top of my head, was one of the ones that was involved. I think Mnuchin just got like just $1 billion or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was $1 billion from the Saudis.
But he made a bunch of money while he was in office.
He at least had been a hedge fund manager at one time, where Kushner has no history of that. So why did they give him $2 billion? It's obvious.
Yeah,
They paid him off. Well, let's see.
To have that kind of money to just throw at corrupt people.
$2 billion to somebody. $3 billion in total, between Mnuchin and Kushner. I want to know, Jack Smith, will he get anything on, and we'll look at him separately. First, Steve Bannon.
Jenny, can I ask one question about Kushner?
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Raskin did an interview a few days ago. I caught it on YouTube. I didn't see it on the news, but I caught the clip on YouTube from his interview. He was saying that they have subpoenaed Jared Kushner a bazillion times, and he's just
snubbing it. Oh, so let's ask: Will he get indicted?
What the Green Bay sweep guy just got convicted for snuffing
Navarro
for snubbing subpoenas,
and Steve Bannon's got convicted. I don't think they've sentenced him yet, but
yeah. So I'm wondering if that's because that should be the first step, because they have subpoenaed him for the records and everything, and he's just snubbing them. He's just like, yeah, no, go F yourselves. So he's not even complying with Congress.
And he went to the January 6th committee, so he knows he's supposed to comply with Congress.
Yeah, exactly. So he complied with January 6th and threw everybody else under the bus. And I don't know what you were doing. I was busy selling and writing. Oh, I'm sorry, writing pardons.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get subpoenaed for, hey, where did all your money come from, and how did you make $646 million while you were in office? And he's
and why'd they give you $2 billion? Yeah.
And he says this. So will he be indicted for contempt of Congress?
I don't understand.
It's like, did you all forget Trump ain't in office no more? You ain't got no cover, and there's no way in hell Trump's ever getting back in office. You ain't got no cover.
That's a big yes. That's like, again, from a female in Department of Justice, a female investigator. That's a big yes, because he's lied about people he's connected to and foreign leaders, world leaders. That's coming soon.
I get a yes. And also not just that, but there's something there that he's lied about. He's lied about an affair that has been that is very established. So not an affair as a sexual affair, but this would be, like your two of cups, like some sort of an agreement or two people of like mind. He's lied about it.
An agreement that he's lied about.
So I get contempt of Congress, yes. What did you get, Johnny?
No, but at the same time, I get the reason maybe because he cooperated at some point, or will, I should say. So it may be the threat of, and then because I get justice in the word of warning. So something may weigh heavy to where he actually does, because then I get the change in perspective with the hangman, and then it ends in the Hierophant, and there is something to here about his relationships and a whole lot of gifts and on the surface type things to where it looks legit, but it's not. If you look at the details thereof, and that's the thing he's trying to hide, is because the money goes very, very deep. And then there's a very rich families, I guess I should say. And it's more like a Saudi connection, because this would be like the Trumps, but they're not all that wealthy, but like the Trumps, like the mother and the father and then the sons and the daughters. It's kept in the family type thing. So it does not branch out. So it's kind of like the, what do you call it? When it's the royalty and then they just have babies and then your babies are the royalty. No votes at all, that type of thing.
A monarchy.
There you go. Thank you.
So privilege via birth.
Mm.
Yeah.
He's connected to whoever that type of thing is. And that's what he's trying to hide for whatever reason. They can't do nothing to them from here. So,
So, Jack Smith, is Steve Bannon going to be on his radar? Any indictments from Jack Smith?
oh boy.
He did a lot of talking on his little podcast to rile people up to come to January 6th.
Why is he not under the jail at this point? He's done everything.
Just build the jail on top of him.
Steve Bannon. Yes and no. Yes, but they're not moving on him. This is someone who comes up a lot in some documents, I guess, that they've read or research that they've done or investigations they've done. The Seven of Cups and the Queen of Cups, they're more interested in who he's connected to and who's supporting and how he supported Donald Trump's efforts to do X, Y, and Z. Because remember, during Donald Trump's presidency, Steve Bannon was called the president for a while there, because it seems like everything that he was doing came from the mind of a Steve Bannon. And so it's more centered around his relationships, the Two of Cups and the Nine of Swords. But the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands both say yes, that there is an action and there is information, but I don't have any movement yet. And so that's why I can't say absolute yes, but these are both initial. So that's information and then that's an action. So there is something there, but I didn't pull enough cards for the action part, I guess.
Yeah. What you getting, Becca?
I get a yes. Something very solid. Could be some, like if you were to write it out in an organizational chart, where he's identified that it's known about or it's being kept for right now. There's feedback or news about how he was linked to either the rallies, the parties, an audience, a committee where there's a large group of people, but he's linked. So I get a yes. Perhaps right now it's being hush hush. Also, because this is a very large audience, this could be that stuff is being presented to a grand jury at this point. But this is saying yes, it's under seal.
I get that too, because they've got evidence on him. There's an indictment under seal in secret. Jack Smith is holding it very, very close to his chest. He's not ready to reveal it, but he's getting ready to burn the crap out of him. I think it has to do with the fake electors, how that was structured, because he was a part of the Green Bay sweep crap, as well as things that he did around January 6th. So I think he's going to get whammed with both when this is all said and done. But
good.
It's hush hush, as you said right now. So Roger Stone, is he on Jack Smith's radar? You got all these peanut butter boys and oath creepers taken out, serving in jail. Roger Stone met with both of them. Is he on the radar?
Yes. There's a lot of information that has been gained and gathered. The Wheel of Fortune and the World are akin for the four fixed signs or the four faces of the cherub in the corners. On the Wheel of Fortune, they have books. On the World, they lost the books because you have learned the lessons that you were looking for. And so he has a whole trove of information, and there again is your Ace of Wands, but this time it comes with the Three of Wands. So there is something that moves forward. It expands, though, with the Three of Wands as expansion of something. And so there is a lot of that, and old relationships or people he's known a while, like the Donald Trumps and the whoever else is in his closet. And so he will be very worried about the indictment coming in. There's your Page of Pentacles. So yes, he has a whole bunch on Roger Stone.
He was at the Willard Hotel also in that meeting. What you getting, Becca?
Yes, there's a gift, an invitation, if you will. There's the party, a large group of people. This could be like state level stuff. This could be rallies. There's a large group of people, parties, rallies, and then there's the law here. This could be like a grand jury, a large group of people in the law, or a large portion of the public society that are in court, grand jury. So I would say yes. I would say yes. So
I think so too. Agreements he made. I get again, maybe over the fake electors trying to block Biden, and how that was structured, as well as like January 6th.
wasn't he tied to was it Proud Boys or
Both of them.
Both of them.
Creepers and Proud Boys. So he's not done with him yet. Excuse me, get your butt out of the way. I get there's someone else Jack Smith wants to talk to. But there's also, the plans with the Republicans. So like the Jim Jordans and, those that were tied in, he'll be returning to this a little bit later. So he may go down at the same time people in the House and Senate go down. Can I have my deck of cards?
I keep telling whenever I do go live and I see it in the chat, all this stuff, it's going to take decades. We had 4 years of a criminal enterprise running the country. Think about and we haven't even talked about the funds that went missing from the Build the Wall that he took from the Pentagon and the Department of Homeland Security. He took the money from everywhere, gave contracts to buddies for millions of dollars and only built 50 miles. Think about that. I mean, there was a 4-year crime spree endorsed and covered up by the Republicans. So you still have all that to clean up, So it's going to be years before this is all.
Well, to close with, since it's Ho night, over the next year before the elections, are we going to see a bunch more Ho stories? Cheating and grabbing and groping and.
Wait, I got to go find something.
A lot more fishy, itchy kitties. Ooh, strength card just fell out. You got a deck for this, Johnny, that has hose in
No,
it?
I have.
You gonna grease up your cards so they can slide easier?
I mean, just here. Greasy lips, everything. Just be whole ready.
Word of advice, condoms are not optional. They should be mandatory.
If you say ready, you don't have to get ready. That's how it goes.
Play at your own risk. Play at your own risk.
And as Johnny says, you got to put on chapstick if you're going to talk smack.
Yes. That's my sunscreen.
I get a big old whopping yes. Long time adulterers or people that have lifestyles, the boot lickers, the lap lickers. Here's the lifestyle of it, and there's a lot of heat on it. Perhaps it'll be stories about how someone really just wanted to do it doggy all the time, on a tanning bed. I don't know, but there's going to be plenty more stories about bitches and hoes and losers. So, yes.
A lot of men too.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, you got Matt Schlapp. I could have added him to the whole list.
Well, look at Matt Gaetz. Look at Matt Gaetz. Evidence up to the ceiling of him trafficking minors for sex. Public receipts of Venmo transactions, and he walks free. So yes, to Johnny's point, yes. What'd you get? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That was it. I had a lot of men abusing their office. So it's going to be a lot of those type of things to where they may have promised an intern or went full Bill Cosby. Basically, my lips are super shiny now, too.
You hoeing yourself out, Johnny? Are you?
I am. Yes, absolutely. Call 1-800-HOBERT.
Hoopty Hobart. Hoopty
Is
Hobart.
there a number on the back of it? Unilever.
Is that manufactured in Colorado?
It'd be funny if it was. I'm gonna look it up.
I get there's going to be a lot of look over here and getting real anxious. People getting burdened. I get somebody moving with someone, but I get a big yes. There's a relationship that's been going on a long time. There's another relationship that ends in divorce. So we're going to hear all about like who was, group sex, all that kind of stuff. We're going to hear all about it. And somebody paid for somebody. We're going to hear about that too.
Color me surprised. Surprised. We live by the Bible and we're a Christian nation, and you should only have sex missionary style on Tuesdays at 6:00 or the most biggest sexual deviance you will ever meet. Ever. And there ain't nothing wrong in wanting to get kinky. Just don't shame other people for it when you're doing the same thing behind closed doors. Come on, get for real.
Get your kink done.
The only people judging is you. So,
well, thank you all
to infiltrate the GOP sex parties.
Thank you all for joining us for Hoe Night. The subject is dictated by the Republican Party, so don't criticize us for being petty.
Yeah.
I mean, you can if you want to, just nobody cares. So.
Yeah.
If they behave better, we wouldn't be petty. Thank you guys. We'll be on Becca's channel next week, House of Lenormand, 8:00 Eastern time. So we will see you then.
Figure out the rest. So we'll see you then. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for the super chats to Jenny and for the PayPal donations and everything. You guys
Thank you very much, Susan, and I missed, and Lucky Girl, Lynn, Margaret, and Mary. Thank you very much for the super chats. Bye, everybody.
Brandon, I'm sending you hugs.
I have to go wipe my face.